Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing in the Tier 10 German medium tank, the Leopard 1. The Leopard 1 is my favorite vehicle in the game, and you might be wondering, well that's kind of crazy, you play so many Chinese vehicles. Well, yeah, before I went on to that quest of being a Chinese tank master, I played this tank quite a bit. And the reason I love it so much is because it's essentially a Tier 10 light tank. Light tanks are my favorite class in the game by far, and that's because after 7 years of playing, I really like having more of a challenge to the game, and I feel like light tanks are the hardest class to master, and it takes a lot of creativity and map awareness and intelligence to play them correctly to be able to actually carry a game in one. And because the light tank is this big fat, or I'm sorry, the Leopard 1 is this big fat light tank, it really allows you to be flexible and allows you to just relocate according to how the map is being played out, and it has a wicked gun that can just pinpoint tanks across the map and hit them like a laser beam. Because I've been playing Chinese tanks for about the last year almost exclusively, going from the 113 or the 121 to shooting the gun on the Leopard is like the equivalent to training for the last year of your life, running 10 miles a day with 10-pound weights strapped to each leg. And then for your big race at the end of the year that you've been training for, you're allowed to take them off. And you'll feel like you can run that much faster and so much. You'll feel like you can fly, essentially. And that's how I feel coming back to playing my Leopard 1, just because the gun is so accurate and I can just pick apart enemies like nothing. Whereas the 121, you have to sit through like a 3-second aim time and just pray that it's going to hit the target when it gets there. So anyway, we'll get into some pregame analysis here. The first thing that you guys should notice immediately is their advantage when it comes to heavy vehicles. We have our red ST1 player here, and that's really about it. I mean, we do have an E3, but I really have no idea where or how he's going to play. And our T57, that's kind of a soft vehicle, and it has a clip, so it can't really be super aggressive. It has to, unload and then fall back. Compared to that, they have an E100 and an E5, and those are really good spearhead tanks, as well as the VK4502B and the E75, which are top in their class at Tier 9 at doing the same thing. Because of that, it should be pretty obvious to you guys that the 9-0 line will fall probably within the first 3 to 4 minutes of the game. They do have a good 1-2-1 player here, and because of his lack of gun depression, I'm assuming he's going to either push with the heavies or he's going to try to push this one line. I'm not too worried about bumping into him at the beginning, but he is a threat, and trying to eliminate him towards the beginning will give us a huge advantage in winning, because if he is left alive, he'll be able to be sneaky and put shots into our guys, because I do feel like we are at a disadvantage on this map because of the vehicle lineup, and we'll be forced to mostly play kind of sniper spotting and then eventually fall back to the base and try to play defensively because we can't play aggressive with their lineup. I do have to watch out for this artillery player. He is good. He does have a clip, and in an open map like this, playing in a soft vehicle, if I do get lit, he's probably going to try to hit me, so that's something that I do have to be aware of. So we'll get this game rolling here. Now, the first thing I try to do when I play my Leopard 1 is to get initial spots. And this is something I do with all my light tanks, because, if you are a reconnaissance vehicle, you should be out there getting eyes on, even if you're not getting assist damage, you should be trying to light up as many vehicles as possible, as early as possible, so that the players that are paying attention to the minimap will be able to relocate accordingly or play accordingly to what is lit. So this is a good spot if you're ever in a light vehicle or something like the Leopard 1, where you can spot vehicles that are trying to push across this ravine here and get shots on them. Now notice how I'm not shooting this guy until he's behind cover. The second he's behind a bush like this, I have almost zero chance of being lit. So I pull out here hoping to get some lights, and I am able to spot the WT. I have no shots on him at the moment, but I probably wouldn't shoot just because I do not want to get lit. And I've already have 700 assist from spotting that Leopard PTA. And I got a little extra spot there from spotting the waffle. the CDC gets lit, and I don't fire until I know I have like zero chance of hitting him. I mean, I have a chance of hitting him before he goes over that ridge, and I wait till the last second to shoot, and then I pull back behind this building so I can't get hit by anything on the ridge or artillery. So I'm double bushed here. I know I won't be able to be hit by that E100 or lit. So you really have to pick your shots when you're in a situation like this, where you really don't want to be, you don't want to just take every shot you can get. You really have to pick your shots carefully, because the second you get lit in a position like this, you don't know what else is out there looking at you. Now, this 5100 gets lit, and I'm asking my team to shoot him. I don't know if it's a glitch in the game right now, but I can't target enemies right now, like asking my team members to focus fire on him. But I do not pull the trigger because I know I will get lit here if I do. So I'm waiting patiently. He's not really moving, and the second artillery takes a big chunk out of him and I know I can finish him off, I do that. And that's because if I was to get lit by him after I had fired and he had lived, he has a clip, and he could have probably put 2 or 3 shots into me before I was able to finish him off. And conserving your hit points is the most important thing when you play a light vehicle or a paper vehicle. Really, when you're playing the Leopard 1, you should always play like you have 1 HP. I'm going to pause the game right here really quick, if I know how to pause the game. So go ahead and look at the mini-map. Can you see what's going on? Our flank has actually done a pretty decent job of holding these guys back, and the 121 is actually kind of falling back and playing this ridge, which is surprising for a tank with no gun depression, but I guess I've never really played this ridge with the 121, so I can't really say for sure how effective that is. But you see here how the medium tanks are pushing the 1-2 line. This is bad. We have a couple vehicles left here, and the second these vehicles die, I'm going to die. And I realize this because, again, I do pay attention to the mini-map when I play a tank like this. And the second these guys, if they were to push around here instead of pushing here, which is what good players will do, they're going to kill these guys, pop around here, and I'm going to get lit. And what does that mean? Anything here can shoot me. The 121 could come down and flank me. Anything here could shoot me as I try to retreat. Artillery could hit me, and ultimately these guys could come in and just clip me like nothing else. So it's important to notice danger and relocate. I've done 2600 spot here just by sitting here really doing nothing, and 1700 damage by just shooting. That's actually a pretty good outcome for being in the game for 3 minutes, and I'm happy with that. So I've maxed out this location, and I'm going to relocate. And this is the beauty of the Leopard 1, allowing you to relocate and having good camouflage, good top speed, and a good accurate gun that you can put distance between you and your enemies, and you can shoot very accurately. So just as I figured, the guys here on the ridge completely died. I'm checking out the situation here. Decide that I'm far enough away to take the shot. Doesn't go in. Wasn't really expecting it to, but again, taking shots like that when you know it's safe is not really a bad thing. I knew I was safe from being lit, and so, if it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But if you don't try, you're never going to make the shot, right? So I'm really praying that our heavy tanks here will be able to hold off the 9-0 line. And I know the best I can do now is to try to light for our convoy here, and possibly artillery. Their 1390 gets lit by our Object 140. I really don't want him to die, and I want to help him, but there's no way I can get there in time to help him out. Their 121 player gets lit, and I'm able to put a shot into him. And he's trying to get a flank on our guys. I'm not worried about being lit from this distance. You can see by my mini-map that he is completely out of the max spotting distance, and so is the bat chat. So I'm not too worried about being lit by anything unless, for instance, their AMX pushes up the middle and lights me for some reason. Another shot there, I'm not sure quite where that went. I think I shot over him, but then the bat chat gets lit. And you can see how he's pushing up from behind me. I want to shoot him here, but he is hiding and he's very aware that I will kill him. And I'm backing off here so I don't get hit by something. As I said that, I get hit by the CDC, and he leaves himself vulnerable in the open, so I take him out. Now this bat chat is our biggest threat at the moment because he is lighting me for artillery, and I really need to take him out. I'm praying here that the Conway is able to get a good shot into him and finish him off, but he failed, and the WT gets lit. So I'm going to pause the game again here and let you see what exactly is going on. Our team has completely folded, and it's down to me and the low. There's a Bat Chat that's a one-shot kill here. There's a WT that's a one-shot kill here, and they still have some very healthy vehicles behind me. I'm under the assumption that the artillery is aiming in on me right now. The Bat Chat still has 2 or 3 shots left, maybe more, and the WT is probably going to try to hit me. In this situation, you have to prioritize your target. Do you shoot the Waffle, or do you go after the Bat Chat? Well, I personally, you could argue that, okay, artillery is shooting at me, I need to move as fast as possible, let's take out this Bat Chat because he's close and he can clip me, and let's worry about this WT later. Well, I actually would say take out this WT first. He is the bigger threat at the moment because he is going to be unlit very soon. And the second he gets unlit, he's going to be an invisible tank that you have to constantly worry about that's going to be sitting out here. And the second you get lit by the Bat Chat again, he's going to put another shot into you. Or alternatively, anything pushing behind you and spotting you, he'll be able to get shots onto you. So the priority target here is, in fact, the WT. So I'm able to put a nice shot into him right as he goes invisible and take him out. Now, I need to take out this Bat Chat as soon as possible. And that was a bad shot on my part. I was hoping that would have gone in and I wouldn't have had to take that shot from that guy. But I'm able to take him out. So now I want to go back and help the low. But he dies, and I'm thinking, okay, crap. I guess I could probably get in a quick shot here. I see that I can see the turret of the 140, take a shot. Very, very low chance of that ever going in, but I need to relocate as fast as possible. I know that 121 is going to be on me. He wants the extra damage, and I got to relocate. If I get lit here, I will get destroyed. And right as I say that, I do get lit. The 121 takes a shot at me, and you'll notice what I'm doing here. I'm actually putting the building that is behind me between us. If I was to drive out into the open here, or alternatively go this way, these guys will have shots on me all day. But because I'm using this building as cover, they can't shoot me. So I'm trying to get, again, as much distance from these vehicles as possible. And I think about stopping and taking a quick shot, but I realize that the 121 player can drive at about 50 kilometers an hour, and I'm only going to be able to keep a small distance ahead of him. He's cutting across the field, I'm sure, to gain that advantage on me, because he doesn't have to worry about running from anything, because I'm the only one left that can actually do something to him. So I'm driving up here. I'm going for artillery first, because I do want to eliminate the RNG out of the game, and he gets lit. I take a shot at him, and unfortunately I hit his turret and I bounced him. He's able to put a good shot into me, and I know that my reload is faster, so I try to get a shot in. And this is a little bit greedy for me. I shouldn't have done this, but again, I really wanted to take him out. And then now the 140 is shooting me, and here I get absolutely nuked. I don't know how the artillery hit me from this angle. I guess he did hit here, and the splash is what killed me. Good shot from the artillery. That was a very good shot, and I didn't want to show this replay at first because it wasn't a win for me, but at the same time I did have some good points in there as to how you can play this tank effectively. And unfortunately it is a vehicle that is very team reliant, and when you're in a situation like this, it is kind of up to how well you can play and how bad the enemies play, and a little bit of RNG as to if you can carry the game. If the artillery didn't hit me there and I was able to, let's say, pen that 121 and maybe take out that 140 when I shot at his turret, I would have probably won this game. But it didn't really work out that way, and I'm okay with that. I had 3,000 spot, 3,000 damage, and I had a lot of fun playing this. Again, I wish I would have won this game, and it would have been more epic to show you guys. Like, I carried against 5 guys and got a Kalabanov's medal. I forget how that thing is pronounced. But anyway, it wasn't the most epic game, but hopefully you guys would be able to glean some wisdom out of that. So just really quick post-game analysis. They ended up pushing here like I predicted. It did take a little bit longer, and the one line pushed faster than I anticipated, forcing me to relocate from my position here to here, playing defensively, I was able to take out a few enemies and essentially ended up running to my death. I could have played a little smarter at the end there and maybe not stopped to take a shot at that 1-2-1, and that might have prevented me from dying. But again, in this situation, there's probably like a 95% chance that I would have lost anyway. But you can take this gameplay and translate exactly what I did to a light tank, and you'll be able to do just fine. So anyway, guys, hopefully you guys found this replay informative. If you liked it, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and keeps me motivated to continue making videos like this. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.